everybody, welcome back to Epic Beauty Fail. I'm Jessica. On today's video we're doing another Throwback Thursday. And today we're going to be using a complete palette. Is that what it's called? A complete palette? It's a full face palette. This is from PUR. It's called Love Your Selfie 2. There was a Love Your Selfie 1. I don't have that one, but I did pick this one up last year. And in this palette, it actually is a complete face palette. Other than foundation. So it does have like a blush bronzer type shade here. It's called Composition, a pink highlighter called Photogenic, and then this one here called Overexposed. That's more of like a powder. It's got a little bit of a shimmery texture to it, but it's not like a highlighter shimmery texture, if that makes sense. And then there's 8 shadows here at the top. We've got Headshot, Statuesque, Panorama, Abstract, Pose, Sketch, Megapixel, and Paparazzi. And then down here there is a lip gloss in the shade Silhouette. There is a lip pencil. Let me see if this has a shade on it. In Focal Point. And then it also has a mascara in the Fully Charged mascara. Now I did use this a year ago, and that's the only time I ever used it because I put it back in here and I haven't used it since. I'm gonna use it. I think. We'll see. When I open it up and give it a smell, if it smells okay, I will put it on my lashes. We'll see how it goes. But if you can see from my face, all I have on is foundation and powder. That is it. And concealer. I'm sorry, I did put a little bit of concealer on today as well. But other than that, we're going to go ahead in with this PUR Love Your Selfie 2 palette. I'm not sure if this is still available. If it is, I will put a link in the description bar down below. I'm going to take my brush here and go into this shade Composition. This is a very, very powdery palette. Very powdery. So I'm going to just tap that off a little bit and put this on my face. I use this palette. I think I've only ever used this palette once. Because of how powdery it is, it's kind of scary to me. I know that a lot of people don't mind having super powdery palettes, but for me, it just scares me because I just end up getting it everywhere. So what I'm doing is I'm just sort of keeping it in my contour area, and then I am trying to just blend it out almost into a blush shade as well as my bronzer contour shade. So just a little bit on my brush, focusing it in the contour of my cheek, and then I'm going to actually blend it out. So get a little bit more. Because it is kind of, like I said, it's almost like a blush bronzer shade, so. I've been wearing more pinky blushes recently, so this isn't exactly what I've been wearing recently or what I've been into recently, but it's not bad. That's not bad. It is very powdery, but not bad. All right, I'm going to get my highlighter brush. I'm going to pick up the shade Photogenic, which is the pinky highlighter that's right beside there. And let's see what this looks like. It doesn't look like anything. Let's get a little bit more. It's giving me a little bit of a sheen, but that's about it. There's not much actual like highlighter going on there. Like I said, it's giving me just like a soft sheen to my cheek. Nothing too dramatic. It's actually making my cheek very, very red. Almost like that's more of a blush than a highlighter, but I don't think that's a blush. Let's try it. I'm going to dip into Overexposed, which is the paler shade. Maybe that has more of a sheen than I thought it would. I don't know. Honestly, I don't have the packaging for this, the box. And the back of the package doesn't really say what those products are. I don't know. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Yeah, Yeah, it just has the shade names. It doesn't actually say what they're supposed to be used for. So, oh well, that's it. That's all there is to it. Oh well. All right, I'm going to go ahead in next with eyeshadow. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see as we go. So I'm going to start with the shade Headshot, which is the pale shade here at the top. Again, very powdery. Very powdery. And then it I literally just, it just comes completely off the brush. So we'll see how much I'll get out of this. And I remember it not being my favorite palette. So one of my things that I'm trying to do with this throwback series is digging out some palettes that I haven't used in a while to see if they're still worth it to keep, because I am getting ready. I'm mentally preparing myself for a declutter in the new year. So I am trying out these palettes to see if they're worth keeping. So, all right. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Statuesque, which is the cool tone brown right beside Headshot, and I'm going to put that into my crease. So I am filming this a few days before it posts. Now I'm not getting a lot on that, but all right. So I am filming this a few days before it posts. We are getting our tree tomorrow. We traditionally always used to have a fake tree, but a couple of years ago I decided I wanted to start getting a real tree. So we've had a real tree for the last couple of years, which is why we don't put it up until a little bit later. By the time this video posts, our tree will be up and hopefully decorated by the time this posts, but we shall see what happens. Cross your fingers. Well, yeah, it should be up. Amazingly, I already have all my shopping done. Somehow I have all my shopping done, but I have no tree up yet. And one of the things that we always do is we always have family over for Christmas, as I'm sure most of you do. We actually invite John's family over on Christmas Eve, and then we invite my family over on Christmas Day. So we actually host both families back-to-back days. It can be a little bit hectic, but because we do both families at Christmas, we don't have families over the rest of the year, if that makes sense. John has two sisters. One hosts Thanksgiving and one hosts Easter, and we do Christmas. And then my family, pretty much if we don't come over to my house, we go to my dad's house. I have a brother who is younger than me. I have an older brother and a younger brother, and then I have an older sister and a younger sister. And my younger brother is just getting into his early 30s. He actually just turned 31 in November. So he said that next year he's going to host Thanksgiving. So we'll see. I'm having a really difficult time getting this shade to build up like at all. I mean, you guys have seen the entire process here that I've been continuously dipping back in and just trying to get a shade on my lids. And I'm really struggling to get this to show up on my lids at all. So PUR is a quote unquote high-end brand. Price tag wise, it's definitely a higher end brand. And I honestly would expect more from them. PUR's been very hit or miss for me. There's one palette that we got in BoxyCharm, the Soiree Dreams, I think it's called. I think it's called Soiree Dreams. That was really good. I actually took that traveling with me on one of my business trips that I went on. And I really enjoyed it. But then they did a second palette with BoxyCharm, and I can't for the life of me remember what that was called. I think it was just the Pure X BoxyCharm palette. And that one was not so good. It just wasn't. So PUR can be very hit or miss. I want to love their products. I really do. And I just struggled to find products from them that I like. I mean, you guys have seen how hard I've been working to get that built up, and it's just not doing real well. All right, I'm going to try, let's try a shimmer. I'm going to go into, well, we're coming up on Christmas. Let's try to do a red and green look. I'm going to go into Paparazzi, and I'm going to just, and it is a shimmery green. It's very, very powdery. Very powdery. This is going to fall all over my face. I'm going to put this on the outer portion of my eyelid and see how this works here. It's definitely pigmented. That's something I can give it, is that it's definitely pigmented. So I just got too much on my brush. I'm going to have to blend those ends out pretty well. So how are you guys doing with your holiday preparations? I would love to know. Put that in the comment section down below. Some years I am literally buying, you know, some of my presents a couple of days before Christmas. This year I have dedicated myself to getting things done early. We still have some decorating to do, but like I said, I'm filming this the weekend before it posts, so I still have, what, like 3 weeks? Is that right? 2 weeks? 2 weeks. And part of the reason why we don't get the tree until later is because we want it to be alive for longer, if that makes sense. So I did get a little bit of this fall out on my under eye. I'm just going to try to brush that away with my powder brush. Let's see, is this eye okay? So in order to try to make sure that our tree lasts until like New Year's, which is our goal, is that our tree lasts until New Year's, we just get it a little bit later because we do get the live tree. I'm just going to blend out that edge so that it's not quite so harsh. But I would love to know how your all's plans for your holidays are. Do you celebrate Christmas? Do you celebrate a different holiday? I would love to know. I have a friend who is Jewish, so right now, as I'm filming this, she is celebrating Hanukkah. I'm going to go into the shade Sketch, which is the red shimmer, and I'm going to put that on the inner portion of my eye. So I love hearing about different religions. I love hearing about different cultures and different holidays, celebrations that different cultures and religions celebrate. It's just very interesting to me. When I was in school, I did go to private school growing up, and one of the things that we did do is we learned a lot about different religions, different cultures in my private school. And that has always stuck with me, always been very interesting to me. I love to hear about history. I love to hear about people's like life stories, how they got from point A to point B. You know, I've been pretty straightforward in my career, at least. I majored in information technology in college. I'm an IT lady. I always call them IT guys because that's the stereotype, you know. But I went to college for IT. I was a programmer, a developer for a handful of years before I moved into project management. I know I've said on my channel before that I am a project manager. And that's what I do right now. I'm an IT project manager. So my career's been like pretty much straight along the line. But that is not the case for everybody. And I love to hear different people's stories of how they got from point A to point B. I met a woman once who had majored in art in college, of all things. Like traditional art, not like theater or, you know, just literally paintbrush paint, you know. And she was in IT. And I was like, how in God's name did you get into IT from art? Because those are like the furthest apart that you could possibly be. I don't know. I'm going to get Megapixel, which is the gold shimmer, and I'm going to put that over top of everything that's on my lid right now. For her story was that she couldn't find a job out of college, and, you know, she needed to work. So she got a job as an admin assistant, and the company that I was working for at the time had a really good, like, internal training program. And she took advantage of the internal training program and learned about IT. Now, she wasn't a coder, but she was the director of quality assurance at the time. And if you know anything about IT, those are the people who just kind of like make sure that the code or the system is coded to the requirements. So she actually was a supervisor. She was doing really well for herself in the department. You know, she had come a long way from an administrative assistant in that department. And I always find those types of stories so interesting and so just very encouraging that you can start one place and go completely different from where you started. You know, like I said, I have had a very straight path in my career, so I can't say that I've done that. Even John, he didn't go to college till his mid-30s. He started out in college. It wasn't for him. He worked in manufacturing. He was in a manufacturing plant, a couple of different manufacturing plants, in fact. He then ended up switching over to being in a call center. And that's where, when I met him, he was working in a call center, and he worked there for several years. And in his 30s, he went back to school. So, all right, I think I'm going to go. I'm just gonna round it up and use all but one shade. I'm gonna go into Panorama, which is a bronze shade, and I'm gonna run that along my lower lash line with a pencil brush. Did I use Abstract? Maybe I didn't use Abstract. It doesn't look like I have dipped into Panorama before, so we're going to go with that one. And I'm going to just run that along my lower lash line. Again, it's a shimmer. There's only 3 mattes in here. The 3 mattes are Pose, Headshot, and Statuesque. I've used Pose before. I didn't use it today, but I have used it before. And I've used Abstract before, too. I definitely have brush marks in Abstract. But Panorama, I have no brush marks in, so we're going to go with that shade. So yeah, like I said, John went from manufacturing to call center. He actually worked in a customer service department, and then he went to college, and now he is a teacher. I think I've said that before. He is a special education teacher at a local school district here in central Pennsylvania. And he loves what he does, but it is one of those jobs, special education in particular is one of those fields that really does burn out fairly quickly. Now, he's been teaching, this is his 6th year teaching. Sorry, I had a little bit of eyeshadow on my nose. And I'll be honest, I think is getting a little bit burnt out at this point, but he loves what he does. As any person who is a special education teacher, they need to really love what they do. I don't get like details about things that he deals with on a day-to-day basis, but I can only imagine. I don't have that kind of patience. Now, our son, Nicholas, who's been on this channel before, he is on the autism spectrum. He does attend like standard classroom, but he does part of the day go to a learning support classroom for language arts. So he gets a little bit of both. Let's see. I think I'm going to take a little bit of that pink shade. I have my color switch down here. I'm just going to use the same pencil brush. I'm going to go into Photogenic, and I'm going to put that on my inner corner to lighten that up a little bit, because my eye look ended up coming out very dark. I didn't intend it to be this dark, but I guess that's what I get for the shades that are in here, you know? So, yeah. But let me know if you guys have an interesting story, or even if your story is as boring as mine. You went to school for something and you stayed in that field. You know, I just love to hear different people's stories. I honestly probably should have went into like something like anthropology or something, because that just is so interesting to me. I actually took an anthropology class when I was in college, and it was so interesting to learn about different cultures and how people, you know, I read a book in that class that has stuck with me to this day. It was a couple who wrote this book, and they were both of them, the husband and wife, were both anthropologists, and they went to a tribal community in Africa, and they lived in that community. And it was just very interesting to hear the woman's perspective coming from America, and then going to a tribal environment in Africa at the time. I think it was in the 70s or something like that, where the women had a certain standard that they had to live in, and she had to acclimate to that, even though she was a Western, American woman. She had to change her day-to-day life to acclimate to what the environment was. And I just always find that so interesting. I really, really do. All right, let's open up this mascara and see what it's like. It might all be dried out. I don't know. I think it is dried out. Let's see. Oh no, I got some on the back of my hand. Let's see. Oh, I got it on my nose. I don't think I'm gonna be able to use this. All right, I'm gonna skip this mascara only because it feels very dry, and I don't want to put my eyes through that. So let me go grab another mascara. I'm gonna put that on, and I will be right back. All right, I just put some of my Bad Gal Bang on my lashes. Let's go on to the lip products that are in here. This is the PUR Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in Focal Point. Let's see how this is. Oh, it's very creamy. My gosh, I only tapped it on my lip and it like went right on. Okay. That is very creamy. I'm having a hard time getting a nice line on this lip. On this lip, like it's not my lips. It is so creamy, it's almost like it's feathering. Is that possible? Now, I will say this. My table in front of me, there is a heater underneath it because it's cold in here. So it's been sitting on this heater under these lights. So it's probably hotter than it normally would be, but oh well. All right, I'm going to put on this lip gloss in Silhouette. So that just matches the lip liner like spot on perfectly. So that's pretty nice. All right, well, my lips got away from me a little bit, but I think the products aren't bad. I can't believe how creamy this lip liner is. That is actually pretty nice. The mascara, I'm going to go ahead and throw out. I think it's just dried out, and I have so many mascaras, it's not that big of a deal to me. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that out. Let's talk about the palette real quick. So the face products I think are okay. They're not bad. The lip products I'm actually really impressed with. Like, really impressed with. So I really like how creamy the lip liner is. It's very, very creamy. I really enjoy that a lot. And the lip gloss feels nice. I mean, it's not sticking together. It just, you know, it matches the lip liner perfectly. I don't think it's bad. Like I said, my biggest problem is that I feel like my lips are getting away from me. That lip liner, I probably could have sharpened it because it's feeling like almost like the lip liner is feathering a little bit. The shadows. I'm not real wild about the shadows. I don't know what you guys think. I think like, you know, the sketch shade is supposed to be red, and it just turned into like a little bit of a peachy shade, and it kind of blended in. The green, the paparazzi shade that I put on the outside corner, is supposed to be like a green shimmer. Let me see if I can show you close up. Let me pull these lip products out. All right, pull the lip products out. Let me show you close up. So this is paparazzi right here. And I don't know how well the camera is going to pick it up, but there's like glitter in there, like gold glitter. So it's like green shifting gold. And on my lashes or on my lids, it just really doesn't show, right? It just shows up as muddy, I think, looking in my mirror down here. The statuesque shade, I had a really difficult time getting that to even show up. So this is not one of my favorite palettes. And if I go through and do my declutter, which I'm still preparing myself for, if I go through and do my declutter, this will probably be one that does go. Just because I have a lot of other palettes that are better than this one. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the lip products back in. and I'm going to call John and see what he thinks of my look. I'll be right back. All right, so this is a Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday.
Apparently, you used Love Your Selfie too.
I did.
I can read.
What? Why are you jumping?
I thought it was funny.
What do you think?
It's cute.
Okay. Why are you tickling?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Well, shut your eyes there, you. Okay, so a coppery brown-ish.
I'm going to show you the colors then, and you'll probably be surprised.
Okay. It almost looks like you did half your eyes in one color, or like a quarter of your eyes in one color, and then there's like a got me bronze on the inside.
Okay.
And then you didn't do an under eye, or if you did a very light one.
Okay.
I like your lips. I think I've seen this shade before. It's not. I think it's probably one of the better lipsticks.
Okay.
It doesn't look, you know.
Okay.
What? Your contour's a little darker than normal.
Okay.
And your highlight is not. Your foundation is
Not part of this.
Oh, sorry. Then F the damn thing. You didn't do anything with your brows.
No.
That's it.
Primarily Throwback Thursdays are the eye look.
Oh, my apologies. I've only been doing them for how long, and
A couple months.
I haven't come to realize that it's just the eye look.
Yeah. So, okay. So this palette is a full face palette.
Full face.
Okay. So when you open it up,
Oh, yeah.
it's got the bronzer. I guess I use that as a highlighter. I guess it's supposed to be a blush. I don't know. And then this shade here. But I used all of these face shades on my face. I used the lip liner. I used the lip liner and I used the lip gloss. So I used both of those. On my lids, I have headshot all over the place, statuesque in my crease. I have sketch on the inner portion of my eye.
Okay.
I
sort
have
of see that, maybe.
Paparazzi on the outer portion of my eye.
Okay.
And then I have megapixel all over the eye. Okay, to make it like a Goldie. And then I have panorama on my under eye.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Huh.
Yeah.
It's not really, I don't really see it, so.
No. And yeah. That was what I was telling them, was that there's just not pigment here, and it's not giving me the payoff that I would expect from a higher end palette. So
Is it a higher end palette?
It is. And as I am preparing myself to do a declutter in the new year,
I don't believe it.
this is probably going to be one of those ones that goes.
Oh, really?
It also has a mascara. It's actually still sitting here on the table.
No.
It had a mascara in it, but this is basically dried up.
no.
I could have probably put it on my lashes, but it's basically dried up. So it is, and when everything is in there, other than your foundation,
it's
an
grab it and go.
entire, yeah. I mean, if you want an eyeliner, you would need that. This is Wednesday. I think you guys have seen Wednesday before. But if you wanted an eyeliner, you would need that, and a foundation and a powder if you'd want a powder.
Right.
But other than that, it's a complete face. I mean, it's a nice theory. It's nice in theory, but this just didn't work out the best. So.
I'm not making out with you.
Yeah.
I'm not making.
All right.
I'm not making out with your dog. We're not using it. Nope.
This is Wednesday.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already and you would like to be, please hit that red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell to notify you when I do upload new videos. This is Buttercup. And hit that subscribe button if you like this Throwback Thursday series, because I do film this every single week. And if you have any comments, leave those in the comment section down below as well. I would love to hear them. Anything we've talked about during this video, I would love to hear that as well. And if you were not aware, I did open my own online clothing boutique. It's called Niminis.com. It is in the description down below. If you want to check it out, I would greatly appreciate it. Niminis.com. So we have an about page. You can read all about where the name came from and all that good stuff. So I opened it with my sister. So
Yes, you did.
anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next Epic Beauty Fail. Bye.
Bye.